Morning guys. So today's Monday. If you're watching because you entered my giveaway last week, I'm not going to announce that till the end of the video because today's only Monday. I only put the video up yesterday, so we have to wait a while, you know, for all the entries to get in. Today I'm so excited. I have a very exciting coffee meeting, and not in an influencer way of hashtag big things coming, in even better way. I'm meeting up for coffee with my friend Leanne, who I have not fucking seen in years. She lives in, she moved to Vancouver a few years with her boyfriend a few years ago. I think she moved maybe end of 2019, and then the pandemic hit. And then at Christmas I was meant to see her, but it was too risky. I was exposed to COVID and she had to get back into Canada. So she's back at the moment. She is a pro pole dancer and she's an amazing one, like Irish champion. She's done world championship shit. She's such an icon. She's back, I think, doing some pole stuff, so I'm going to meet her today. She flies home tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to get to vlog any of it because, as I said, haven't seen her in years. Bit weird to put a camera in her face. But on the way there, driving there, I'll tell you some stories about me and Leanne, because that girl, she's such a legend. Okay, hopefully you can see me. So, Leanne and I met on such an infamous, like honestly an infamous night in my life. Like I wouldn't say, I mean, would it be life-changing? I guess it probably changed maybe a bit of the trajectory of my friends, and I'm friends with a lot of these people today. So, Leanne and I first met in college. We met kind of at the latter half of first year. In first year college, I wasn't really vibing with my class. Now, in saying that, I had I think 2 or 3 people who I did vibe with. My friend Ali, who I love, and Dylan, my friend, was a good pal of mine, and then another girl called Aoife. But they weren't, except for Dylan, they weren't in, like, they were only in my art history class, so we didn't get to see each other all that much. And it was like, I don't know, it was just hard to make like long-standing friends in first year, I found, because specifically in Trinity, if any people go there, especially if you don't come from like the private school, like, what's going on here? If you don't come from the private school kind of, I nearly said industry, the private school conglomerate in Ireland, when you go to Trinity, it can be a bit isolating, because a lot of the people who go to Trinity tend to come from the south side of Dublin, and they come from, I mean, pretty wealthy families who can afford to send them to private school. They go to school like Andrews and what's another one that they all went to? I'm trying to remember. My God, why is there so much construction here? They go to Andrews, they go to like Alex for girls, for guys, like Michael's, all these kind of schools that like I really had no insight into. But anyway, my point of that is that a lot of people who end up going to Trinity, and it's probably the same at UCD, I can just only speak from my own experience, they all go kind of knowing each other, because I think, from what it seemed anyway to me, that kind of clique is very insular. So funnily enough, my friends Ali, Aoife and Dylan, none of them went to fucking these private schools. Ali was from Malahide, Aoife's from Raheny, Dylan was from Blackrock, but he was also a mature student. I think he was like 25 or something when he started college, but he also didn't go to private school. So I wasn't gelling with those people, but they all knew each other, and they all just seemed to be able to like slot right into Trinity. I mean, everyone's seen normal people, right? It really is true. It is very much like that there, like, and that's even just from someone just from the fucking north side. Like, I mean, I'd say it'd be much more isolating if you're coming from the country. But anyway, Leanne and I met through a mutual friend in the last, I mean, I'm going to say really close to the end of first year in college, and then we realised that we lived really close by each other. My family had just moved to Clontarf. I'm originally from Glasnevin. We bought a house in Clontarf when I was in 6th year, but we renovated it. That's my family home, but I don't know if, I can't remember if I've ever showed it on the vlog. But I was like, oh my god, I live here. Like, I went to school in Clontarf, so I always knew people from Clontarf, but I wasn't like, you know, a local. So she was like, oh my god, no way, we should go out one night. So we ended up going out. I mean, it would be 13 years ago now, which is fucking insane. It was 2009. We went out. I went over to her house. We had some cans of Bulmers, and we went out to town with zero plans. We had no plans whatsoever. We didn't know where the fuck we were going. We were just like, let's just go out. So we went out. We both wore, I remember this correctly, this is very 2010s. I'm pretty sure we both wore leather leggings and sequin blazers and like tank tops. And we went out and we walked down South William Street, not knowing where the fuck to go. South William Street was so different at the time. If any of you guys were from around that era, it was not as hopping. Like, I don't even think Pygmalion existed at this point. But there was a place called Spy, which is now Farrier and Draper, and Spy was like the hub of nightlife, like alternative, I guess, nightlife in Dublin at the time. Crawdaddy was too, but Spy was kind of new. It was just fucking cool, and we didn't know about it at the time though. So we were walking past it, and Anthony Remedy, who was one of the club promoters there, and I'm pretty sure Brian Spallum was there too, who just coincidentally, like, now I know through Evan, because he works for MCD. Anthony came up to us and was like, hey, where are you guys going tonight? We were like, we don't know. And he was like, oh, well, if you want to come in here, I'll let you in for free. It's a night called War. You know, it's only new. Do you want to come in? And we were like, for sure, like, let's go. So we went in, and that was the night that I met, it's so weird and serendipitous, I met James Kavanagh that night. A lot of like friends of like mutual friends of mine and James's, and just a lot of people that I still like, not even I'm like besties with, but a lot of people that I hung out with at the time, and also people that I would be like I still know to this day, kind of on the scene or whatever, just from fucking years of going out. And Leanne and I fucking went to War every single Friday for, I'm gonna say, about 2 years. It was an iconic night in Dublin. They put like war paint on your face. It was the first night in Dublin that, like, see, like, at the time, if you're a bit younger than me, clubbing in Dublin was like Crystal, Lily's, like, it was these kind of like big clubs with like Hunzo's, Georgia Alba knocking around, and all that kind of scene. And I was just A, a little bit too young for that, and B, like, it just wasn't my jam, you know what I mean? It just was not my jam whatsoever. So when War came along, they used to play like songs from when we were teenagers, like it was, or even when we were like kids. It was like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like this was the summer also that Lady Gaga came out, and this was one reason why like James and I bonded, because we both were like obsessed. And Leanne, people always used to say to Leanne she looked like Lady Gaga, because she kind of did actually. She had like this blonde bob and stuff, and that was when Gaga it was in her, you know, her first iteration of Lady Gaga. So yeah, like, it was a funny one, because Leanne and I were just joined at the hip. People called us Gian. We were obsessed with each other for such a long time. We were just best friends all through college. We were friends after college for a while. We actually stopped kind of talking for a bit, but that was just like dumb, like, young shit. Like, it wasn't really anything too serious. And then like we started being friends again about a year or two after. And yeah, I have such a soft spot for Leanne. She's just such a fun person, and she's come so far. And like, so Leanne and I also started pole dancing together. She was like, I really want to do this pole fitness shit. This was probably when it just first come to Ireland, really. But we had seen a lot of it on like online at the time, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And we went, and she was so good at it. I loved it, but I wasn't as good at it. I'm not a great dancer, and I'm not that coordinated. And Leanne just didn't have any dance background, nothing, and just took off in it. And now she's like a fucking pro pole dancer. She's just such an icon. I have so many funny stories of like Leanne and I as youths. We were bad girls. We were just wild, you know. And I think, like, I don't know, I guess, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but the first like adult friend I had, you know, because all my other friends before that were in school, and I still love my school friends dearly, don't get me wrong, but like Leanne was probably the first person that I felt like I met as an adult, I got on with, and you know, she liked me, and we were like kind of, you know, from similar enough backgrounds so that we like vibed. Oh my god, this is chaotic. And it is funny when you find that like first adult friend, because it's like, I guess it's your first instance of being friends by choice rather than by coincidence, right? Because in school, even though you're like obviously choosing to be friends with them when you're like fucking 6 or whatever, like, and you grow up together, and it's a different kind of friendship because you're friends by coincidence more so. And yeah, I was like, this was like my first iteration of being like friends by choice, and doing adult stuff too, like going out partying, like staying out all night, overdrawing our bank accounts for like Topshop fucking sequin blazers. Like, we had a lot of fun, Leanne and I, and we're both very different now. We were fucking wild. We had the most insane hair. We used to dress so ridiculous too. Like, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. Like, no, like, and I'm not saying this in a pick me way, like, no one else is dressing like this. Like, no one was dressing like this for good fucking reason. Trust and believe. Like, we were like wearing these fur coats. I would wear like full blacks, blacked out, smoky-eyed college. So would she. We backcombed, and this was very much of the time. We backcombed our hair literally like so that we had dreadlocks. Like, and I don't mean like dreads. I mean like there was just mats of dreads within our hair, and we were like, yes, we got another dread going. So ridiculous. But I've a lot of fond memories of that time because, you know, when you're in college, not that you have to be like this, but like, I just wanted to, when I was in college, I just really wanted to like blow off steam, meet new friends, and kind of like, I don't know, just like come into myself as like a woman and as an adult. So when, like, she was just my buddy to do that with, we were just like wild and doing whatever the fuck we want, and like we just like, I always really admired about Leanne, like she just didn't seem to give a fuck what anyone thought of her. And being a chronic overthinker, that's obviously it's like not in my, well, it wasn't in my nature. It's way more in my nature now. Like, even though I am an overthinker, I actually like deep down don't give a fuck what people think of me. You know, of course, like every now and again you get moments of like why don't they like me, but like at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't fucking matter, and I couldn't give a fuck. And Leanne was like one of those first people that kind of taught me that, I'd say. She was just like, who gives a fuck? And like, she never even like said it in that way. She just like did what she wanted, how she wanted, said what she wanted. Like, she just didn't care. And learning that through her definitely made college like very enjoyable, because I wasn't concerned about what these private school kids thought of me, you know? And like, look, I'm not even saying that in like a derogatory way. Like, I became friends with lots of these kids who went to private school, but it is a different, I do think it's a different beast. Like, it's a different fucking world. Just is. It's like, and the thing is, like, even in college, like a lot of those like private school kids like made friends with like everyone or whatever, which is grand. But then like the second college ended, it was like, oh no, we're going back to like our clique, you know, which I guess makes sense. I know each other so long, but like whatever. Anyway, I am now just rambling, so I'm gonna go get Leanne. I'm picking her up from her parents. As I said, doubtful I will vlog at all, but I hope you enjoyed the story time. And you know, I think everyone has a Leanne in their life. That first adult friend you make that's by choice and not by coincidence. So if you have lost contact with them, maybe this is a sign guys, it's Jenny from the future. Today is the day that you're watching this. Well, if you're watching on Monday the 27th, but I am just about to do my competition winner. So I always, for all my competitions, just use a random generator. It's kind of the only fair way I do find that you can do it. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to show the comment. I'm going to put it on screen, and your job is to message me on Instagram. So this is the video. Okay, Kira, you are the winner. So Kira, congrats on winning the competition. I want you to pop me a message on Instagram. You've got a week to do so. And if you don't do it within a week, I'm gonna have to choose another winner just to keep it completely fair. But guys, thanks to everyone who entered the competition. You all left such lovely comments. And I was actually like really paranoid. I was like, I know I said like leave me a nice comment, but then I was like, oh my God, do people think I'm like begging for compliments? But I did enjoy them, and I know that I spoke about validation in that last vlog, and seeing those comments, like you don't get them that much in my industry, like you don't get that much feedback that often. You get a very small amount of feedback compared to how many people watch, so it's lovely to hear. But Kira Marlborough, you are my winner. Hit me up, and guys, don't worry, there'll be lots more competitions. I'm gonna run them way more regularly on her here, so thank you very much. Morning guys, so today we're doing a bit of a reset day because I was so busy last week just doing some skincare. This is the Current Body Hyaluronic Acid serum. They sent me some of their serums and they're so fucking good. They're really moisturizing. Anyway, yeah, it's Sunday. I was so busy last week and I didn't really get much vlogging done at all, and I realized that I've kind of fallen out of my routine of like doing a little bit of a Sunday plan. I'm not a huge like planner in that way. Like I'm not great at like fully having my week so mapped out, but I find that when I do just the bare minimum to get myself set up for the week ahead, I do much better, and I feel like I'm kind of ticking more things off the list, without I completely didn't go to the gym once last week, and that's because if I don't like schedule it in and say like, okay, on this day you're going to the gym, I don't go, which is not good, because I always feel so much better when I do go to the gym. I need to get some moisturizer, hang on. So I'm gonna try and do that today and just bring you along with me. A Sunday, what's that, isn't there like a saying like a Sunday well spent? Well, to me it's like a Sunday well spent is like sorting your life out, just kind of getting like planning for a little bit of routine, and you know, I think you'll usually stick with it. I've kind of got good at it over the years because I just don't overwhelm myself with too much to do, but especially from working for myself, because like there's so many like different balls in the air, so to speak, like I need to like kind of know exactly what's happening on what day to a certain extent. So I wash my hair. When I wash my hair, that gives me a feeling of like reset, like I don't know, it's like a full body cleanse, you know what I mean? So we wash the hair. I'm gonna bring Elle out. Well, I'll just show you as we go along. I look very dehydrated. Do you know who's my favorite and has been my favorite for years? Okay, Spencer Pratt. This man's basically single-handedly invented the reality TV villain. Iconic. Him and Heidi have basically like proven that the Hills were toxic even before he started talking about the Hills, because they've been together for 15 years, like hello. And now he is, I'm sure a lot of you know, on TikTok kind of doing an expose of the Hills, and it's kind of stuff that he said in passing before, but I think it's because now the contract is up, he's actually fully going in, and his TikTok's so good. And he was on Call Her Daddy last week, and people always get annoyed at me when I say this, but I actually really don't like Call Her Daddy. I really don't like Alexandra Cooper. Not her as a person, but well, yeah. I mean, I think probably what she did to Sophia was kind of shitty, to be honest, but I might be like a little hashtag triggered over that. But also I feel like she's a really bad interviewer. Sorry, she's terrible. She's just like, and what do you think the thing that you did was? Like, she just reads off a piece of paper. Anyway, she had Spencer Pratt on the show though, and he's just great because he just is like a bulldozer, and he was so funny on it and I loved it. And then, do you know what was funny, right? So on that episode, I listened to it the other day, and he was saying loads of things, like small little things like that he would say, right, about the show, or about how Heidi was treated, or they're talking about Heidi's surgery, and he would mention like tiny details of a story that you wouldn't think twice about. And then I went back and listened to Heidi's episode on Call Her Daddy, which was a year before, and like every single thing that Heidi said corroborated what Spencer said. Like, and again, it's not stuff that they would like agree to say, because it was tiny little parts of a story, but I was like, honestly, like, I do think they're very honest people. And I loved, he was talking about on Call Her Daddy, had one point where he was like, they like constantly tried to like patronize fucking Heidi and make her out to be this victim, and he was like, Heidi was like a player. Like, he was like, Heidi like had like 4 guys on the go when she met me. I was begging her to be my girlfriend, she was saying no, like, and I was just like, that's why. Like, I just love that, you know? Like, I love that the way he speaks about Heidi, like, if you look at any of his interviews now, like, he speaks so highly of Heidi. And, like, even Alex Cooper was like, was there ever a point where you thought to tell Heidi to not get the surgery? And he was like, fuck no, because Heidi, like, rules the roost in the Spencer house. Or the Pratt house. So, I did my hair, the air wrap. I've gotten really into mousse lately, like, just helping my curls. It helps my curls kind of set, or just, like, a bit of body that I put in my hair. So yeah, loving that. And people have asked me like what kind of mousse I use. I just use whatever, like literally I just bought one from Zolly's, I think. So we're gonna go out for a walk. I'm gonna bring Elle out. We're gonna go and get some air. I think that will help me kind of, I don't know, feel a bit fresher before I start to organise the rest of my life today. Nothing major out of the park, but look, I'll show you mine and Elle's little walking routine. Guys, I actually also really need your podcast suggestions, because I've kind of gone through all mine, and I think you guys would know, I love like a good series, like I love like a 6 to 10 part series podcast. The one I recommended you guys lately was Uncanny, about reality TV. Loved that. I only kind of listen to podcasts like that lately. I just go through such phases. Elle's going mad because she has no lead on. But yes, I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what your favorite podcast has been this year, or like what podcast you can't get enough of, because I need that shit stat. Show you how I get my week kind of together. So I have this notebook, and I also have my online diary here, and my online diary is kind of my content diary, mainly for Red Room. But what I do is, okay, so I have the week, I just do a really simple outline, 1 page week. So I go, so this week is going to be starting from the 27th of June. So this is what I'm left with, okay? And what I think is the best thing, and I know a lot of people say this anyway, but this is just what I've always stuck to, is just giving yourself 3 main things to do per day. Not overloading yourself with like a huge crazy list, but have your priorities set out. So that way, for me anyway, if I tick off my priorities, then I feel like I've accomplished something, and I feel like I'm on track, and I know that at least the things that are most important for me to accomplish this week are done. This can also, by the way, be done whether you're self-employed or working for like in a regular job. I used to do this all the time, my regular job. So like if I went in when I worked in an agency, and I knew my top three things to do that day were, say, like social media calendar, I had to make 6 posts, and then I had like maybe a compulsory meeting. I also put in all my compulsory things in here too, so that I don't forget about them. So that's what I'll do first. So I do know on Tuesday I'm recording a podcast, so that's like a non-negotiable. I also have a non-negotiable, which is more of a personal thing, but it has to be done tomorrow. I have to go to the bank tomorrow, and I'm just going to put that in because it's just, if I don't put it in here, I'll probably forget. So big non-negotiables, even if they are just kind of something for like your own personal life or whatever, like going to the bank or if you have a doctor's appointment, I just put them in there so I can work my week and work my day around them. So tomorrow I'm also recording for Red Room. And I know already what topic I'm doing because I plan all of my content about a month out. But that also brings me to tomorrow after recording, I have to plan content for July and August. And usually what I'll do for that is I'll just like choose the topic or potential guests and then work kind of backwards from that. So this is what I'll just kind of do is I'll go through each single day, put in certain things that I have to do, and usually it'll be 3 to 4 things on my list. And I just find that it helps me kind of stay in line, kind of helps me, you know, stay focused. And then if I'm only taking off 3 things a day, I just feel like I'm on track. So something else that I do have to get, I'll put in like certain emails. So I need to send a contract to someone. So I'll put that in for Tuesday because that's just a quick email, but it needs to be done this week. Since it is coming up to the start of the month next month, I also want to do outreach for guests. So as I said, Wednesday tends to be a good admin day for me. Now the first thing I have to do on Wednesday is make social assets. Then I'm going to do some outreach. So currently in my diary, I have a pretty jam-packed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday and Friday are quite open at the moment. So because I know that, it also makes me able to like schedule in if I need to do Zoom calls with someone or if I've got any meetings or anything else that might be coming up in the week. I know that I've got the most amount of time on a Thursday and a Friday. It also means that if I want to do any like vlogging or whatever else, I know I can dedicate at least one day, because I found with vlogging, if I don't dedicate the days to do it, it just kind of ends up, I'm like, oh God, what am I going to vlog? What am I going to vlog? So let me just put in for Thursday, we are definitely going to vlog. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some cooking. I haven't done cooking on the vlog in so long, I realized, and for no other reason than just like probably laziness. So I'm making Greek food tonight. It's one of my favorite kind of foods to cook. I love some Greek food. And so I'm making lamb chops for Evan and I. And I'm gonna show you guys how to make the best tzatziki. And I mean real tzatziki, Greek tzatziki. I am not Greek. You swear it's like my mom was cooking, but it is my dad's. And I see a lot of people, and I've been to people's houses when they make tzatziki, and it's not tzatziki, okay? Tzatziki is not hard to make, but there is a process to it. And let me tell you, if you like tzatziki, if you go to like a Greek place and you get their tzatziki and you're like, what the fuck, how does mine not taste like it? Let me tell you, it's very easy to do, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, and you'll never, I promise you, you will never look back. And then I'm also gonna do some like this TikTok recipe that I found that's actually so fucking good, and it really is great for any meat. So I have to go to Super Value, pick up a few bits, and then we are gonna cook. Okay guys, yes, I do have lighting on because it is so dark out today. It's depressing. Like, it was so sunny earlier on, but anyway, I'm gonna show you the first step in making my famous tzatziki, and it's famous to just me and Evan. Okay, first thing, obviously, a cucumber. Then you're gonna need some good quality Greek yogurt. You're gonna need some garlic, and you're gonna need some white wine vinegar. You're also gonna need some dill, fresh dill, and then like salt, pepper, and olive oil. But these are the first steps, because it is a bit of a process, but not a hard process. Okay, first things first, we're gonna prep our cucumber. So the key to a good tzatziki is cucumber that does not have a lot of water in it. Now, cucumber is obviously mostly made of water, so we have to get rid of it. Now, a lot of people, when they do this, they take the skin off. The skin doesn't bother me, so I don't really bother taking the skin off, but you can if you want. So cut your cucumber in half, like so. And you see this, we want to take out the seeds. So scrape them out like this. Okay, I've moved you down here just to show you now. So now we're gonna get a grater, thin side of the grater, and we are gonna grate the cucumber. So we're left with this cucumber skin that can go in the bin. Okay, so now what we are left with is a lot of watery kind of cucumber pulp. So your number one goal here is to literally get rid of like as much water as you can. Now make sure your hands are clean, obviously. And I will just grab this cucumber and squeeze it gently. Okay, so what you're left with, this is such a funny angle, but it's the only way I can show you, is like this. Put that in a bowl, and now you're gonna get your white wine vinegar. And I just put like a capful in and kind of just, you know, mush everything down. You don't want it to be like soaking in the white wine vinegar, but you want it like enough so that it's like covering all the cucumber. And we're gonna leave this for basically as long as we can until we assemble, because we're going to do the tzatziki in 2 parts. So this is basically just going to pickle the cucumber, and it gives it a really nice flavor, like a quick pickle. Okay, so next we're going to do the yogurt. So I've got my yogurt. So I've got like, I mean, probably what, maybe like 2/3 of a 450 gram of yogurt left. So you're going to get some cloves of garlic. I'm going to use 2 cloves. We're going to grate 2 cloves of garlic and put it into the yogurt. So what we have with this is that when you add, I don't know the the like mechanics behind it or the science, but when you leave the garlic in the yogurt, the garlic is going to sweeten the longer you leave it in the yogurt. So that is just something to keep in mind. Like, this is why you kind of want to make your tzatziki maybe the morning of. Like, I'm not making it the morning of, but the longer you leave it in there, the sweeter it will get. And we're just going to grate the garlic cloves. Do you know what? I might actually just use one, because I just saw how big this garlic clove is. I'm just going to use 1 huge garlic clove, but 2 kind of regular size ones. And obviously you want this like as fine as possible, because you are going to be eating it like technically raw, so you don't want any chunks of garlic. That's why I would say use a grater. So I'm going to put the lid back on this, and this is going to also go back into the fridge, and I'll show you when I assemble it later on. But I would say have this in the fridge as well as the cucumber for at least 2 hours. Like, I think that that's when you're going to get the best result. I'm going to go to the shop because I need to buy some dill if they have some. They never really do, but I have dried dill just in case. But fresh dill is the best for this. So this has absorbed all of the lovely juices and it smells very pickly. So I'm just literally going to put yogurt into here, and now we're going to give it a good stir. Now I always just taste as I go, and I tasted that. It tastes really good, but I do need a little bit more of the vinegar. And now we're going to chop up some dill and put that in this. Now we need to season. Extra virgin olive oil. And there you have it, some delicious homemade tzatziki.